Emotional immaturity, what it is not, and how we grow. At the windowsill, many people are carrying pain they cannot explain because they were taught to spiritualize what was actually emotional immaturity. They were told they didn't mean it. That's just how they are. Be patient, be gracious, be kind. Now you're too sensitive. But emotional immaturity leaves marks, quiet ones. Doesn't always look like rage or cruelty. Often it looks like avoidance, defensiveness, inconsistency, or fragile egos wrapped in spiritual language. Emotional immaturity is not a diagnosis. It is not a character assassination. It is not a lack of intelligence or gifting. It is a lack of inner development. The inability to hold responsibility for one's inner world while remaining relationally safe for others. And many of us were shaped by it long before we had words for it. What emotional immaturity is? It is the inability or unwillingness to regulate emotions, take responsibility, and remain relationally grounded when discomfort arises. It shows up as patterns, not moments. Difficulty tolerating discomfort, correction, or disagreement. Defensiveness when confronted, blame shifting or minimizing harm, emotional reactions disappropriate to the moment, avoidance of hard conversations, needing control to feel safe, withdrawing, stonewalling, or going silent instead of engaging, expecting others to manage their emotions, using charm, spirituality, humor, or authority to avoid accountability. At its core, emotional immaturity is self-protection without self-awareness. What emotional immaturity is not. This matters because many healthy, sensitive, or traumatized people have been mislabeled. Emotional immaturity is not feeling deeply, having emotions, crying, grieving, or expressing pain, being sensitive, intuitive, or empathetic, being in the process of healing, having trauma responses while actively working towards growth. Emotional maturity is not the absence of emotion. It is the capacity to stay present with emotion without making it someone else's responsibility. How emotional immaturity affects relationships. Emotional immaturity people often confuse intensity with intimacy, equate disagreement with rejection, feel threatened by boundaries, experience accountability as attack, prioritize comfort over connection, seek relief instead of repair. This creates relational climates where others walk on eggshells, over-explain, shrink their truth, carry emotional labor that isn't theirs, feel unseen, unsafe, or confused. At the windowsill, clarity comes when we realize what felt like love may have been survival inside emotional limitation. What emotional maturity looks like. Emotional maturity is not perfection. It is integration. The ability to pause before reacting, willingness to self-reflect, ownership without excuse, curiosity instead of defensiveness, repair after rupture, respect for boundaries, emotional regulation, empathy without self-eraser, truth spoken with humility. Emotionally mature people can say, I was wrong. I didn't realize the impact. Help me understand. That was about me, not you. How we grow towards emotional maturity. Growth does not begin with behavior. It begins with honesty. Emotional maturity is developed through self-awareness, emotional regulation, responsibility, boundaries, repair, and surrender. This work is slow, it is sacred, and it is deeply freeing. Father speaks, my beloved, emotional maturity is not something you force. It is something you grow into as you walk with me. I am not asking you to be perfect, but I am inviting you to be present with me. You are not behind, you are becoming, and together we can grow. Scripture. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. 1 Corinthians 13:11. The one who has knowledge restrains his words, and a person of understanding is even-tempered. Proverbs 17:27. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Galatians 5:22-23. Journaling prompts. Where did I learn how emotions were handled in my early life? When I feel defensive, what am I protecting? How do I typically respond to correction or discomfort? Where have I taken responsibility for others' emotions? What would emotional safety look like in my relationships? What is God gently inviting me to grow into right now? Challenge. Pause before responding when you feel triggered. Name your emotion silently before speaking. Ask one curious question instead of defending. Practice one moment of repair if needed. Offer yourself grace, not shame. Growth happens in small, honest moments. Closing reflection. At the windowsill, emotional immaturity or emotional maturity is not about becoming harder. It's about becoming truer. It's about becoming honest. It's about becoming more anchored, more aware, more whole, and more authentic. And God is patient with this process. You are not failing. You are forming. And I'm praying for you. We all can grow always. And none of us are perfect. And we don't have it all together. And we are constantly growing to become more like Christ. And so as we surrender, abide, and walk with Him, He grows us up and matures us, not just spiritually, but also emotionally. So, the Father helps you with that as you lay down your life and surrender it to Him. So I'm praying for you. Hope this was informative.